Welcome to a special edition of Sendis Sessions, the last of 2022 and a World Champions special. Yes, we are featuring 5 PWA champions with action from Cape Verde, Pozo, Japan and Germany. Yes, action from all over the world. And kicking us off is a guy who's already got 2 world titles, but this third one has been in the making for a long time. Thoroughly deserved, absolutely smashed it. And we're going to go over to Marcilio Brown to talk us through his year.
This was definitely the most incredible year that I've had competing. The year started off with the first event in Cape Verde, and we all had very high expectations for that one based on the conditions we had in the past. And when we got there, the conditions didn't really come together all that great, so it was a really difficult contest. Cat and mouse. There was not a lot of waves per heat. Some heats better than others, but in general you couldn't really miss a set wave once you got on them. So I'm happy with the way I competed there. Made sure to be on the set waves and finished off with the 2nd place, which really was a great start for my year.
So many adventures could have happened today. So many songs that we forgot to play. So many dreams swinging out of the blue. Let them come true. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever?
And then going into Pozo, I was feeling really good, got a good season preparing, and I got a bit of a shocker on the senior elimination. I lost a bit early, and it was really bummed at the time, but then luckily we got a second chance on the last day of the window with the double elimination, and I was able to sail 7 heats that day and finish with a 2nd place.
He was on the podium over in Cape Verde, and an early exit in the single elimination here to Thomas Traversa, and now he has a chance to fight his way back.
Which was so crucial at that time of the year, and a performance that I'll never forget, a contest I'll never forget because of all the emotions I went through, so many ups and downs in that 1 week.
Marcilio Brown on an absolute tear in this double elimination. He is taking out top seed after top seed. He's just on one. It's very difficult to stop a juggernaut that's just on the move.
Yeah.
Just everyone's getting steamrolled.
Oh, 360. Bim.
Then I went to Brazil to spend time with my family, see friends, and also it was a perfect place to train for Zil. There was a lot of starboard, side-on jumping, and also some dead onshore sailing. So it definitely was a good reminder of the North Sea and a good place to spend time with the same equipment, you know, onshore gear, and get it all tuned up. So, and then when Zil came around, we got this crazy forecast. So something that I personally haven't seen in Zil. Just sideshore, port-deck, best sail ever. Not exactly what I trained for, but still it's good to have such solid conditions. difficult mentally preparing for that contest for me because there was so much on the line, and it was just, I tried to go all out and stay as hard as I could, and really happy to get a third place there and secure the title.
You're world champion, buddy.
World champion.
You're world champion.
No.
100%.
How do you feel, man?
You did it, bro.
Thank you so much.
We always miss the PWA here in the Aloha Classic in Maui, and it's kind of bummed not having that, but then we had the IWT Aloha Classic, and there was a lot of really, really good sailors. All the top goalkeeper guys were on it, so I decided to take part in the event.
Here goes Marcilio Brown, our reigning world champion.
There is a
Perfect little aerial over this section. This is going to be a pleasure to watch.
I tried to find a water source, a river or an ocean gold. Who might help me?
And it was a really special feeling for me to finally get that win. I got close a couple times. I made a few podiums, and I was definitely very proud of that win. And yes, this world title was also so emotional for me because I felt like I worked harder for this one than any of the ones before. So never gonna forget this year.
Completely blind. I pour my tears in a glass, watered my plants, and drank the rest.
The guy is an absolute machine. Thoroughly deserved his world title in 2022 with events with different conditions, no discard. You needed to be consistent, and that's exactly what he did. And like you say, to top it off, winning the Aloha Classic, which he's never won before, which just seems bonkers. Right, next up, we've got the Women's Wave World Champion. And this one came down to the last event. 3 riders could have won the world title, but in the end, it went to someone who's already got a fair few.
So this year I won my second Wave World title. We had an event in Gran Canaria and an event in Sylt, Germany. So it was quite exciting. In Gran Canaria I finished in 3rd place. I think in the single elimination I drew Daida eventually, and she hasn't been doing the tour for a couple of years now, but she still competes at home, of course, and she is definitely the queen of pozos.
And I don't feel like I need to correct this absolute mess that I make with every single breath I take. There's still a drown in my mind, and the thought is drowning me alright, completely blind.
I was feeling quite confident during the competition or before the competition, but every time I compete against Daida, it somehow she just goes a notch. She just levels up, and I saw her land a huge backside wave 360. She was very excited, so I could tell that was going to be a very high score. And for myself, I feel like in that heat I was not able to go above and beyond and go past my own boundaries.
Stand with that. Really nice stall forward at the beginning there for Sarah Keaton offering her.
It is that drains my mind, whatever makes me right this right.
Eventually I finished in 3rd place there, which, I mean, I'm happy. I'm not satisfied. I wasn't satisfied with it, but I'm happy with it. In Germany, the competition came down to Lina Erpenstein, Justina Schniadi, and me, because neither of the twins were there. I think Ibaya injured herself. And yeah, this made it very interesting because whoever would finish ahead of each other would win the world title. So that definitely added some pressure. There's no room for error in this case.
All the girls in the room, raise your glass. 2 other girls in the world, let's dance. Magnificent, confident, yes we can make a pact and unite ourselves in spirit. Though a different styles contrast, we create the perfect soundtrack to the world, to our lives, who we are, in and out, singing loud so everyone can.
I think I rigged every single sail for that one day from 3.3 up to 5.0, and I ended up sailing on my 4.0 and my small board most of the day. Competing in Sylt in those conditions, it was not completely onshore, a little bit side shore, so you can actually make it out quite easily, but the shore break was really heavy, so it becomes quite a tactical game, because if you make one mistake, the chances are that the lip of that wave is just going to smash your kit completely, you know. So in Sylt it's a different ball game. It's not only your skills, it's also how you read the conditions.
All the girls in the room, raise your glass. To all the girls on the hop, let's dance. Magnificent, confident, yes we can. Make a pact and unite ourselves in spirit. Though our different styles contrast, we create the perfect soundtrack.
The toughest heat mentally for me was against Lina Erpenstein because she is an amazing windsurfer and she has no fear when it comes to jumping. She just goes huge when it comes to stall forwards and stuff. I've been swimming quite a bit that day, and in this 5mm wetsuit, yeah, you get tired. So I was gassed after every heat. I just wanted to say thank you to Maaike Huverman, who would come down and help me walk my gear up, and to Uda for signaling to me like what I still needed, if I needed a jump or wave ride.
All the girls in the rock, raise your glass. To all the girls in the rock, let's dance.
I wanted to say congrats to Lina Erpenstein and Justina. They're sailing on another level, and it's very exciting to compete against them. Also against the twins, it's also always a tough battle, so it's always fun. And a special mention to all the younger riders on tour. They came through all the junior competitions and are now competing with the women, and it is incredible to see their level and the courage that they have in the water. So I feel like 2023 is gonna probably the most exciting, it's gonna be one of the most exciting years in competition for women's wave sailing.
So another great performance from Sarah Keita there. Unfortunately, no women's freestyle world champion in 2022, which is such a shame. But you've got to say Sarah Keita would have been favourite to take home probably another title in the freestyle. But in the men, they did have one event in silt, and conditions by silt standards were absolutely epic, and the battle went right down to the wire. Just micro bits of a point in the end separating between first and second. Over to Adrian Bosson, the new 2022 world champion, to talk us through it.
Guys, well, I'm super happy being world champion. It's been a great event in Zilt, super hardcore freestyle condition. It was like four stacks with the porta condition, big jump going out, some sick tricks coming back to the beach. Such a good event. It's been a long time we didn't have such a condition like that, and I think last time probably was Zilt 2019, so it was feeling so good, especially winning the event.
Here as the new world champion is Adrian Bosson and the runner-up, Jacopo.
It's been super tight on the final day against Jacopo, so yeah, big congrats to him. He's been sailing like crazy all year long, so it's an honor for me to win against him. And congrats as well to all the other riders, and I hope like next year we can have like a proper tour. I feel that there is still a lot to do with freestyle windsurfing, and I hope we're gonna have a lot more events and a lot more fun.
So fingers crossed in 2023 that we have way more freestyle events to crown the champion there, because the guys are absolutely going off, and we need to see a women's world freestyle champion too. And talking of disciplines with only one event, next up we're going to women's slalom. Only one event, But in Japan, where it went down, they had a mixture of conditions. And this year, for the first time ever, it was going to be fin and foil combined.
Hello everyone, it's Marion Mortefond and I'm super happy to be the new Slalom World Champion. It was a really good race in Japan. We had a really different condition. We managed to do some foil, some fin. Super happy to have been consistent, and I'm really looking forward to compete next year and to have a lot of events and to continue to manage to be a third-time world champion. Have a nice end of the year and see you next year.
So well done, Marion Mortefond. One event, but such a variety of conditions, fin and foil. She totally dominated it, and she deserves her world title in 2022. Right, on to the men. Now, this was a roller coaster, a full drama. Before it even kicked off that year, we knew 2 events, no discard. It was going to be hotly contested, and it didn't disappoint. Came down to the last race of the last event to decide the world champion. Over to our podcast master, Maciek Rakowski, and the new PWA Slalom World Champion to tell us all about it.
Heading into Sylt to a first event, it's kind of funny because so many times it was the last event of the year, but my place is really similar to Sylt, so I really took the time to prepare for those conditions and for that particular style of sailing. It's very different. It's, you know, Sylt many times, especially with onshore, it's like a pot of boiling soup, you know, like super choppy and wavy and weird and whatever. And the first day it really paid off. As Sylt went by, you know, I got great consistency, and unfortunately I messed it up on the last day. Came in really nervous in the morning, you know, leading the event for 8 days, and every windless day you're giving an interview what you think is going to happen the next day or this afternoon or that, you know, a lot of people, a lot of hoopla, you know, and that kind of got to me. Unfortunately, I made some mistakes, catapulted on my own. The wing just ventilated just after the first jibe. You know, the wing just ventilated the tip, and I lost lift and hit the water, catapulted, and that was the event, pretty much the win of the event. pretty much. You know, Amado just did his thing and came out with the win. That wasn't the worst position to head into Japan, I think, because you know, when you come in with the lead, I think it's pretty stupid because it's such a small difference, 1 and 2 in terms of points. But I think mentally there is a little bit of a difference, and I knew that those type of last events and those type of, you know, gusty and shifty and unexpected events, they really come down to the mental game. I probably underestimated the gear game a little bit. I was a little bit less in tune than I'd like to. Like the narrowest of leads in the title race, with Matteo right on my ass, and that's, you know, he's experienced, he's been there, so I knew that I'm gonna have to give my best, absolute best, and I felt really, really good. I was in a really good headspace, just, you know, excited but focused, not too stressed. Yeah, really, really good. Conditions were pretty terrible, really light, up and down, some stuff floating around in the water, and you know, I tried to really block that out, and I kind of managed, so I was really, you know, happy with my mental state. Came down to the last day. I had my first heat, which was a quarterfinal. Rolled the guys from the top, and and just the moment my focus shifted from rolling the guys to what line I'm gonna take around the mark. The board just completely stopped dead. The board just completely stopped. It actually felt like my foil broke off the board. But that's not what happened. I just hit something, piece of plastic, whatever. I just hit something, and yeah, I mean, all that focus, all that preparation, all that, you know, good mental headspace, it just turns into like disbelief and anger and despair, like, you know, crying and stuff.
I've got something to tell you, but you won't like what you hear.
I popped up out of the water, and my U-joint broke. So I saw my board floating away, and I thought to myself, like, oh fuck, that's my title floating away, you know. And then the head judge, he picked me up on his boat, drove me to the beach. And I kind of asked him, like, do you think that's fair to have a world title showdown in these conditions with this much stuff in the water or whatever? And he didn't reply, because what was he supposed to tell me? It's his job to race when there's conditions, right? And then I asked him again, and he didn't reply again. So then I kind of you know, when somebody completely ignores you, you get angry. So by the time we reached the beach, I was fuming, you know.
Had some updates from the beach.
A better chance of winning the fucking lottery than winning it like this one.
Get that stuff onto the beach and there's like 10 cameras pointing in your face, just waiting for you to snap or to say something, or, you know, to provide some sort of drama. And I think before I consciously realized that this was a bad idea, my subconsciousness knew that I need to give them a bit of a show. I don't know, but yeah, I lost my shit.
Full of shit in the water, no fucking wind. The fuck are we doing here? World title showed on my ass, man. Pushing for fucking nothing. For what?
Maciej Bukowski, what is he thinking right now? What happened?
I completely lost my shit there, and not proud of it for sure. Now it's funny. The Paul van Bellen, the skit video of it is absolutely amazing, but yeah, it doesn't look the best, not the best image for sure, and not looking very intimidating there when I'm angry. It looked pretty funny. And then it was out of my hands. Then it was completely out of my hands. Matteo could win it. I couldn't win it, couldn't lose it, couldn't do anything really, which sucks, you know. You try not to worry about things you can't control, but that really sucks.
How is that going to play out? Is she going to be able to get back into the top 4 here? So, we might have just...
And when they announced that there wasn't going to be another one, I was like, okay, so now all I can do is watch. So I went to the commentator booth. Ben already had all the permutations sort of ready, you know, but not exactly from the rule book and stuff. So you know that this is not necessarily the final thing. But when I saw Matteo take a bad start, I was like, okay, so there's a chance. I saw Enrico and Nico fight it out in the front, and I was like, oh, there's definitely a chance. And then the heart attack came when Johan So had an amazing jibe on the first jibe and went from like 7th to 4th. And the best he could finish was 4th. If he finished 3rd, I was out of the title. Matteo would have won. And I knew that Mateusz Isaac uses a really small front wing. So that's really good on the first reach when you're powered up and whatever, but around the jibes, it's tricky, you know? So every jibe, like, I had my heart in my mouth because it was super light. And if he touched one time, that was it, you know? So 3 jibes of absolute, like, you know, stress, but he held it together. I told him it's free gin, he likes his gin tonics, so I told him it's free gin tonics for life. And yeah, I became world champion sitting in the commentator booth with Ben and Tati, which is pretty surreal. You know, you go through a lot of the scenarios and a lot of the possibilities, and you'd never think of that one, or I'd never think of that one. And when they announced it on the beach, that was like happiness, but also huge relief, you know, because I couldn't believe that you can be so unlucky in such a crucial moment, you know. But then I was sort of lucky, I guess, so it kind of all balanced it out. And I think that's the beauty of sports, you know, moments like this. I'm a huge sports geek, huge sports fan, and moments like this, it's what sports is all about. And I'm really, really grateful and really happy to to have been able to experience that and to be part of it. So yeah, definitely a story to tell for my grandkids for sure.
So that's it, the end of Send It Sessions for 2022. But don't worry, we're coming back strong at the end of 2022, maybe beginning of 2023 with the mashup videos. This is kind of a collective of all the great action we've seen throughout this year from the brands that support Windsurfing.TV, because without those brands, this doesn't happen. Also, without you guys at home, it doesn't happen. So a massive thanks to you guys at home, new members here. We have got a Christmas giveaway coming up. Duotone are giving away 2 sails, 2 booms, 2 Power XTs. So if you want to join the members, the Windsurfing.TV members, support some channel with a bit of beer money, you can get into those draws. We're going to be giving away windsurfing hats. I'm getting in the festive spirit. So like I said, massive thanks to all you guys. Massive thanks to Alfie behind the scenes. And don't forget, Send It Sessions will be back in 2023. So if you've got any ice windsurfing, windsurfing in the snow, some winter antics, some big wave stuff, you know, you want to talk about your local beach, you have to send it to Alfie@Windsurfing.TV. If you've got the crashes or the learn to forward sessions, that's for me. Send it Sunday. Send it at Windsurfing.TV. So loads to be getting on with. Let us know if you've liked the channel in 2022. Let us know how we can get better, what you want to see extra. We're doing our best, but I know we can do better. So I'm going to speak to you before Christmas, but get that tree up. It's coming quick.